I tell you, chamber, the state chamber sent out an email for a conference call on something, and somewhere way in the middle of it or toward the end of it, I get a text from Patty saying that there's a conference call going on. Is Peach County involved? And I said no, I wasn't aware of it. I know we have one tomorrow. Um, so she said the chamber sent out an email this morning. Well, I never got it, and so it didn't come to me. She said I'll send it to you. So she emailed it to me. By the time she emailed it to me and I can get to it, the meeting was ended. And so I called out there fussing well, I didn't get to talk to Jill. I called BJ. BJ said he don't have nothing to do with the chamber. That may have been Jill, but they wasn't on a call, on a conference call. So I don't know what they're doing. I said, now they starting to act like the task force is. Because Jill has my email address, so I don't know whether the email was supposed to have come from the state chamber or from the local chamber. And I'm wondering who all was on that call. And I will find out by tomorrow. Because that was supposed to have been something that they would talk to faith-based leaders about and small businesses also. And that's also what that call is supposed to be about tomorrow and Saturday. So everybody want to have virtual meetings, but nobody's getting the information out there like they ought to make that happen. So anyway, Raphael, I get off my soapbox. How things going down there with your mom?
It's going good. She took the news that she can attend the services rather surprisingly.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know that's hurtful. Mm-hmm. There's no way for that mortician to do it virtually, huh?
No, but I'm gonna take my cell phone and FaceTime with her so she'll be able to see the whole thing.
Okay. I saw something on the other night. I said, I know why those folk in Albany, all those folks got infested or whatever you call it down there. All them folk were dying. They had some church down there at one of them funerals. Somebody put it out there on a video, and LaShawn Pace sung I Know I've Been Changed. This lady came in the church strutting and singing it, and you had the church packed to capacity, and that was the one who the pastor died at, with all them folk in there, but they had some church that at that service. And so, but anyway, the other one got sick also.
One thing they got going down here in Waycross is that almost one person at every funeral home, or either morticians, have been tested this week.
Well, I'm afraid for you say mortician, every mortician. Yeah, because I was reading the other night that even when the person dies, they can still be identified as testing positive. And so I don't know what procedure the morticians go through. I'm not into forensic science, so I don't know what they do. But that's scary. That is scary. So if our people didn't do what needs to be done to protect themselves, and when they're in the middle of a neighborhood with their funeral home, when they embalm and all that kind of stuff, that goes somewhere. That stuff goes somewhere. And so I walked out there today and saw a face mask on the ground that somebody had thrown down. I asked Postel, I said, put your gloves on and get a bag or something like that and put that in, because they are asking that people don't throw those on the parking lot or anything. I don't know who threw that one down to try to so it would affect somebody. Postel got his gloves and went out there and got it. But this is no plaything. If it'll stick on your shoes now.
Will our public safety and public works be tested?
Don't know I don't know about that because right now that rule is still if they show a symptom. Now I just got off the line talking to Karen Kendrick about that, Karen asked that we had capability of testing some other way, or what is everybody gets a chance to get tested. But to tell you the truth, I don't trust everybody with testing for something like that. You need medical professionals to do that. Now, if somebody could sponsor that, then that would be fine. I'm hearing that it's not cheap to do a test like that, and now you have to go to like a medical center. I don't think they'll even do it out there at our health department. When I talk to Miss Bertha, they don't even do the testing out there. You have to go to your primary care doctor or go to the emergency room, go to the medical center, and they have a priority testing they do with that, and that has not changed yet. That's what I've been listening all the time from the governor and with Trump every day when he comes on. Mhm. But Karen asked about some things and said she was going to text me some stuff that she may have some information that she'd give us on. And so somebody else gave me an email about folks' plasma and all that kind of stuff, well, antibodies and all of that, and want to know if we wanted to, basically they're talking about if we wanted our city employees to be guinea pigs. That's what they're talking about. And this is some kind of private thing and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to expose us to being no guinea pig either. If it's going to be with the EMTs, the medical professionals and all of that, and they come and do that, that's different. But some private agency that say, because somebody called us and wanted to know if we want to give 100,000 sometime back. And I said, okay, so y'all just gonna send those to us and bill us later? Well, you gotta pay a deposit. And that's when I said, okay, and then called me three times after that, and I hadn't even returned their calls to deal with that. Everybody's trying to jump in on this, on the pandemic. Is trying to jump in on some stuff, and it's unfortunate that we are doing that, but you got some scammers out there that they are telling us to beware of. And so we have to kind of use good thinking. But I don't know if I would want anybody who's not a health professional to test me on anything. So anyway, it's about that time. It's 4:28. So it looks like we got Lomenzo on, we've got Raphael, we got Chief, we've got Marvin, we got Juanita. Is anybody else out there I'm not seeing?
I'm here.
Who is it, Carla? Okay. Did you make your screen visible?
Yes, you got to slide your arrow, Miss Barbara, in the bottom of your screen where the pictures are.
To extend, to extending people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I see you now. Okay, so when I did that, it got me away from there. Thank you so much, Mr. Raphael. You know, I know just enough about technology to do some damage. Thank you for not having to do any damage. All right, and if I go upward, oh, then I see me again, but I lose you. So I don't need to see me. All right, anybody else? Oh, there's Chewy. Okay, hey Chewy. And then there's Hayden connecting audibly. Anybody else?
See me yet, Mayor?
Sam, I see you. Yeah, I see you. I see you. I don't see myself. I don't care whether y'all see me or not, as long as you can hear me. Okay? Are we good? All right, then I guess the others, as they come in, we'll go ahead and get us kicked off. It's right at 4:30 now. Let's bow for a word of prayer, and then we kick us off. All right? We don't have I don't have a. Let's just go ahead and do a word of prayer, and we'll go on. All right, Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to come together again as a team to talk about the business of people in this virtual meeting. We thank you for, once again, for all the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. We thank you for the salvation that you are showing us, in that we see people all around us are being devastated by not only the COVID-19, but now the storms and all this kind of stuff. And you showed your favor on us, and we thank you for that. We ask that you be with us throughout this meeting, Bless those who have shown up to give of their time. Bless the people that we're giving the time for. Be with us throughout this meeting. Guide our tongues, our hearts, and our thoughts throughout this meeting is our prayer. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. I first will need an approval of the agenda. And here's the way we'll do it until we get down to the point wherein some of us may be smart enough to program in and do the checks on the voting and all this kind of stuff. We hadn't gotten that. We hadn't gotten that high class yet. So what we will do is you call your name and say yay or nay. If you would do that when we are voting for, I need a motion to accept the agenda.
I make a motion to accept.
So moved.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I heard you. Okay. Can you hear him? Juanita,
Second.
could you hear? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I made a
All right.
motion, but okay.
All right, motion by Allen, second by Bryant, that we approve the agenda. All in favor, start with the names and say yay or nay. Williams, yay.
Carla, yay.
Allen, yay.
Bryant, yay.
Crawford, yay.
Is anybody else out there? All right, that's four. So Saka, you have all any opposers, any nays? No nays, and the motion carries. Okay, Saka, you got the list of everybody that was present when the motion was made. Saka?
Yes, I have it.
Okay, and then now we've got Jimmy still out there, and we've got just Jimmy, right? Is the only one still out there.
Mario.
And Mario. So you might want to, when they enter the meeting, you might want to take the time to enter the meeting. If they don't enter, don't worry about it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Quick announcements. Tomorrow, Bluebird, I think in the chamber is partnering with this too. They are having, I forgot how many meals they said, prepared down at 1836 to feed the children over at the Old Hunt Elementary School. And I didn't get the time.
11 to 2.
From 11 until 2. From 11 until 2. And it's a drive to the curbside and pick it up. The parents come by. You must have children in the car with them. And it's up to 4 per car, from what I understand. There are several things that come into play when this is happening. Number one, they gave the mom and pop business a little business, and then they feed, do things to feed children, even though we are having these food drives, and the parents that do the cooking and all of that appreciate that. But now they are feeding the families what the schools stopped doing. So as a community, it's going around from school to churches to fellowship churches. And I told you before that the Heart of Georgia Railroad had called to find out what they could help to do in this initiative. So everybody is trying to help us, and we are very thankful that is happening. That's tomorrow from, you said 11 until 2. There is going to be a conference call of elected officials on Saturday morning. We want to be a part of that conference call also to talk to elected officials about this COVID-19 stimulus money for small businesses and the faith-based community. Now, there's one also happening tomorrow at 11:30. That one is sponsored by the Congress of Black Mayors. The one Saturday is sponsored by the Reverend Jesse Jackson. He's already had one. They are trying to reach out to the urban community. You know, the large municipalities always get in on this. The big banks always get in on this, and big banks always get in on this, and the small man get left behind. And so my understanding that some of our small businesses have already submitted applications. I talked to the gentleman down there at Sunmark Bank to see if he's participating. and he said he would for their customers. So we want our people in our community to be able to get, when I say our, I'm talking about a small community, to be able to get a piece of that pie also. And so I will send you the information out. Chuck Miller is the one who sent it to me. He actually had one yesterday at the same time our task force meeting was. And then the one we're having tomorrow is almost overlapping the task force meeting. All the virtual meetings are just about overlapping each other. So I'll be on a part of it, home to the other if I have to. And then Monday, there's going to be another food drive. And I think this is another one that's done by the Fellowship of Churches. I think I'm right on that.
It's Pastor Sanders and ministers.
Okay, that's the Fellowship of Churches, they call it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what they call it. They have somebody from each of the churches that volunteers to help and work with that. Sanders organizing and Jay Jones help and what have you. And when Mikey,
This is all Sanders.
okay, when Mikey did theirs the other day, Jay called me last night and told me it was, it worked like clockwork. He just moved in and moved out, got it done in no time. And I think they fed everybody except maybe a few. That was all. And this time they are giving fresh vegetables again. I don't know what else is going to be with that. Chicken and fresh vegetables. And so please get the word out there to the people about that. And that starts at what time? I didn't get the time.
I don't know. It'll probably be 12 o'clock, because they're asking the help city to help like they did before, to go and get the supplies, get the vegetables.
12. Yeah, it's probably gonna be 12 because they got to go. We volunteered to well, not volunteered. We asked and we approved that a flatbed would go down and pick up all the vegetables and bring it back. And so that would be done. Okay, and that's all I have. Do anybody else have anything that's happening community-wise that I have not got notification on?
William,
Yes, sir.
I was on the call with the Rainbow Coalition and Justice Jackson yesterday, along with Mario and Ms.
Bryant.
And the meeting, the conference Saturday, it's with the president of the National Black Farmers Association. And we're asking Mario to do a report on the Southeast Regional workshop that he went in with Southern University. Make sure all of the needs of the farmers are addressed in this new stem. What this thing is, Maxine Waters is working on a new stem, the next round of stimulus. And instead of our participation yesterday, one of the biggest problems we have is the lack of information. At a time, when we got the information, all of the stimulus money for businesses and whatnot, it ran out. It's gone now. So what they're doing is they want to plug us in at the top on a national level. So when the information comes down, we will be able to immediately notify our folks. And as such, I've asked Ms. Wright to compile a list of all of the businesses in Fort Valley, along with the phone numbers and email addresses, so that we can create a database that we can forward to the national office, so that our folks will be on top of the line, when whatever new stimulus comes down. You know what I'm saying? So that's under one of the biggest problems we found out yesterday. Everybody understands the problem, but nobody has what it takes to get the information down here where the rubber meets the road. So I think they're going to use Fort Valley as a model for the nation in order to let folks know this is how you do stuff.
Right.
With this.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for that. And I'm certain we appreciate you and Chucky being involved in trying to help that to happen. And of course, Willie Burns, who used to be the president of the Congress of Black Mayors, basically said the same thing. They're reaching out to the faith-based community. I think Representative Bentley is online with pastors right now as we speak on a virtual call. I think our church had already sent theirs out. They were trying to tell us that the EIDL was the best and the quickest way for them to get some funding. However, there was a limit of $10,000, like a cap of $10,000 on that. $10,000 for go anywhere. Now it might go pay for a church, but $10,000 doesn't really go anywhere for a business. And the gentleman down at Sunmark Bank told me that, and I may be repeating myself. Bank of America had 1,045 applications that had come in already for businesses on this stimulus money. And so our small businesses, our local businesses, everything that has come in print, I have put it in Postale's hand and sent it out to our local businesses and told them to make sure that they get a chance to take advantage of this if they would like to. Okay, anything else, any other announcement that needs to come from out there, from you guys?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you.
One other thing there, you mentioned the $10,000 grant. That's basically all that most of the people were applying for. But we found out yesterday, we have other emergency loan funds that are forgivable through SBA and other agencies.
Yeah.
Millions of dollars. And one of them is the payroll protection plan.
Yeah.
So we might need to try to get into that because it pays for all your employees that's working, and actually 75% goes to pay for employee salaries. 25% goes to pay for utilities and whatnot. So,
sent out to us yesterday through GMA, and I sent I sent a copy. I can hear you. I sent a copy of it to Raphael, to Chief Spurgeon, and to Chewy, and get one to Diane too, so we could know if this goes on and we continue to have to do hazardous duty pay, we can kind of figure how much we have spent in hazardous duty pay. We don't want to just send a letter back and say we just need some money. We be able to put figures there and do that, and we are in the process of working on that. And then when that happens, I will need your what you call it, I will need your permission to put it on or your sanction or your approval or your blessing to put it on city letterhead and send it on in to the powers that be there. Now that's going to the Congress up in Washington. That's federal money that we are talking about. They asked us to make sure that we let them know that the small municipalities need money to do these types of things that we are where we've been affected by the COVID-19. So that's got to be something that we got to send in, but we need some figures. We need some things justifying why we need the money. Just don't go out there and say we need money because of COVID-19. So we're in the process of working on that, and we'll let you know exactly what we're sending to them before we send it.
William?
Yes, sir.
I think that every councilman should have an opportunity to submit something to that. If he doesn't have anything, that's all right. But I think every councilman should have an opportunity to submit some things that might have been overlooked by somebody else. So at least we'll have full coverage of all of the agencies associated with what we do.
Be glad to do that. Send it out to you right away, but we don't need to be holding up on it, waiting on somebody to send their response back. The folks that's in the operational realm down here have an idea of how much has to be spent every time you drop something in the trash. They have an idea of that. And that's why we sent it to them immediately so that we could work on that. And I just said we will send it to you and let you know exactly what we're going to ask for. Okay?
Right.
Okay.
The next Congress convenes in May, and the new stimulus package is going to be presented in May if they come back to Washington, or for more else. So we got enough time to adequately do what we need to do. That's all I wanted to say.
Hey, Marvin, however, we don't want to wait until May now. When they told us in that meeting last week that we had the conference call, we had 5 days to fill out the application on this thing that I was telling you about. All right, they had one meeting. I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday, and then they were supposed to have another meeting on Friday. They canceled a meeting on Friday. And now they saying they're having a 5 days is already up. You follow me? What they said? Hold on a minute. What they said was, if you go ahead and get on it right away, that's what they said. Get on it right away. I never will forget that. Get on it right away. And that's part of the reason why we miss out. While we're standing around here talking about who needs to spend what, we need to have it in there. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
We talking about two different things, but go ahead, move on.
All right, okay, let's move on. All right. That we were still in the announcement mode. Did anybody have any other announcement that we needed to do? All right, let's go on to new business then. And the new business, under new business, number 1 is time for the commercial insurance renewal. This is the insurance that covers, from what I understand, our vehicles, our buildings, not the bodies and everything. And she has the service agreement that she's showing up there. The annual commercial quote, from what I'm seeing, is like $54,194. And we've got the agreement and everything that's there. Has to be signed by us and the agency. I need your blessing on signing this document and these documents. There's several of them.
I make a motion that we go on and renew the insurance.
I second.
All right, motion by Bryant and seconded by Gowan that we work on the renewal of the insurance. All in favor? Williams, aye.
Question.
Excuse me?
Question.
Okay.
I have no problem. I have no problem supporting the renewal of our insurance, but I think that this is something that didn't come up yesterday. In the future, we would sure like to have a copy of these documents before work session or council meeting.
Okay.
I'm through.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I have a question too.
Okay.
This has, we have reached out to other insurance companies to make sure that we're getting a better deal here.
Call for the order today, man.
Yes. Yes.
Call for the order today.
Excuse me?
That's what that means.
I didn't know. I didn't hear what you said.
I said call for the order today.
Okay, for the order today. All right, for the order today. There's been a motion and a second. I've
Could I-
already said aye.
Can you hear me? Can
Yeah.
y'all hear me?
I hear
Yes,
you.
you can, Jimmy.
Well, thank you. I mean, I was wanting to ask a question before, I've heard the second, just one question. How long has this company been taking care of us?
That's a new insurance company, but our broker, Barbara Wilson, he sends the bids out, and then we get the best proposal. But Mike Barber, he's out of, Barbara Wilson, he's out of Columbus.
Okay. Just, I read everything. I got the information best I could. So
Okay.
just wanted to ask that question. That's all I can say.
All right. Okay, now, any other questions?
One other, any local insurance companies like Valley Insurance, anybody contacted for quotes?
Yeah, they put a proposal in, and then he bid that against all the other companies, like you do every year.
Well, in the future, will you please make that available to us so we can have some sort of make some sort of evaluation?
Yes.
That's great. That's great. We'll make sure it goes to finance the next time when we do something like that, and then move forward that way. I do want to remind us
All in favor?
I want to remind us that we're in the middle.
We gotta go ahead
Carry
and
the motion.
Okay. All right. I done already said aye. When y'all gonna say aye?
Gowan,
When
yes.
you asked us for it.
I asked
did.
for it.
Allen, I.
Demi had a
Name and your vote, please.
Alonzo Allen, I.
Carla Gowan, aye.
Bryant,
Barnes,
aye.
aye.
Did you get it all, Soccer? Any opposers?
Marvin Carter,
Okay, did you get any opposers? So it's unanimous. Thank you so much for that. I apologize for the lateness of sending stuff. Y'all, this is a pandemic. This is something we've never been through before. And this is the first time we've had a virtual.
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok. And thanks to Soccer, she shows us how to put everything for credit for it. All right. Now we're going on to number 2, which we talked about yesterday about the purchase of the front end loader.
I'd like to make a motion that we go on and purchase the front end loader.
I'll
Instead
second.
of keep leasing it, we go on and purchase it.
Mayor, I got a question.
Wait, we'll come to the question. Motion by Bryant and seconded by Gowan
Gowan,
that we make the purchase of the front end loader. All right, any questions?
Yes, ma'am. How much are we paying for the front end loader?
We're paying 49. You see that?
49.
Can y'all see it? The 49,009. Now, that's instead of 100 and something thousand that you would continue to.
The lease.
Yeah, if you continue to
Lease.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We had an agreement that we could buy it at the end of this particular lease period. And we are now, I don't know whether you were here yesterday when we said we are 4 months behind on our lease payments, which is $4,000 per month. That's $16,000 right there. Okay?
We already don't pay the $100,000 for it, but let's go ahead and get it.
All right. All in favor? Williams, aye.
Bryant, aye.
Gowan, aye.
Allen, I.
Barnes, aye.
Whew.
Carter,
All right. And it's unanimous. Thank you. Well, not unanimous because, oh yeah, okay.
It's unanimous.
I got a chat from Mario that said yes. So it is unanimous. Thank you. You trying to ease yourself in, baby boy? It's good to see you.
No, I'm just letting y'all handle it because y'all ain't asking me nothing, so I'm just gonna be quiet.
Okay,
Look, got your face all in the screen. Back up, Mr. Andrew. Look.
Okay, number 3, the emergency resolution. Do we have anything that
I
shows?
guess that's mine.
What's that now? I didn't hear what you said.
Can I read this thing?
If you like to.
Can I read this thing?
If you like to.
All right, this is proposed a code amendment. This amendment is designed to bring all of the city resources under direct control of mayor and council during emergencies. This includes, but not limited to, city departments, instrumentalities, and utilities. This will create a central agency responsible for conveying all federal and state information about emergency in order to create one control one point for downloading all pertinent information and adequate directions to our citizens. And the ordinance is as follows. The Code of Ordinance, City of Fort Valley, is hereby amended by adding the following section 42A, State of Emergency and Emergency Declaration. State of emergency is declared by the federal or state government or because of a health emergency or a natural disaster. The mayor and council, by a majority vote, shall issue a local emergency declaration. When a local state of declaration is declared, all city departments will immediately do needs assessments and provide the information to the mayor and council so that the city can customize its response to the emergency and speak one voice on how to deal with the same. that if it does not exist, a $5 million emergency fund shall be established and immediately made available to the mayor and council according to the terms established in the city charter and House Bill 685, with expending funds to protect the general welfare of the city, of the citizens of the city of Fort Valley. These funds will be placed in a restricted account chosen by the mayor and council for use in declared emergencies only. The use of these funds is triggered when an emergency is declared by federal or state governments, which mandates the reimbursement of such funds by FEMA or GEMA to the city. When whatever reimbursement are received,
No, it's from
it will be returned to the restricted account until the next federal emergency. City council reserves the right to adjust these, the use of these funds for other approved emergencies as they see fit. All conflicting laws are hereby repealed. This ordinance is effective immediately upon the adoption by the mayor and council. I've sent a copy of this to Ms. Hooks yesterday, and I have not received anything from her or heard anything about what she thinks about this.
You sent it to who? Who you sent it to?
Hayden Hooks.
He sent it to me, and I don't think it is. I think it's inconsistent with House Bill 685. I think it's inconsistent with the judge's order. I think it's inconsistent with the governor's order and what the emergency power authorizes. But you know, I don't want to spend a lot of time arguing about that. So,
All right, tell me how it is inconsistent. It's inconsistent with House Bill 685.
685 gives you a certain amount of money. I mean, you can request it, but there's nothing that, and you can certainly make that request, but the way this is written, you automatically get it. And so all that 685 gives you is their, you know, the franchise fee, and the lawsuits resolve the money in the Municipal Competitive Trust. And so you can certainly request that the Utilities Commission gives you money, but there's nothing in the law that authorizes you to demand any amount of money.
Hey, we're not demanding. We're not demanding, Hayden. And under, I specifically stated, in House Bill 685, it says that the mayor and council, with the approval of the Utility Commission, can expend proceeds made from the utilities to promote the welfare. Before the general welfare is promoted, a majority of the council and a majority of the Utility Commission must agree on how much it is and what it is for. That's in 685. That's the same thing that's in our charter.
The words general welfare do not appear anywhere in House Bill 6.
I beg to differ.
Well, I've got it pulled up right now and just did Control F for general, and the words general welfare do not appear anywhere in that law. That was the previous version of the charter, and it was replaced by House Bill 685. But probably, you know, Mary, if you, that's my opinion. And if you, that's my legal opinion. If y'all want to vote on it, you can do as you choose.
I don't have 685 before me, but I referenced 685 before I wrote this, and I would not have written something that did not exist. What I'll do, I would hold this until I get the section of 685 that references this and get it to you. I'm not talking about all this other stuff. We're talking about an emergency situation. We're talking about general welfare, and that was covered in 685. And like I say, wasting any more time.
The city may, here's the language. The city may, this is paragraph L. The city, with the approval of the commission, may use, expend, or invest revenue from utilities for any cause or purpose in promotion of the common welfare. I apologize, Marvin. I looked for general, not common. Of the city or its citizens, and for this purpose may use the revenue derived from the operations to supplement the funds available for the school system, blah, 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 blah. That's the language in there before. Before any funds are used for promoting the common welfare, blah, 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 blah. The city and the commission shall agree to such use and the amount to be used in each instance. Notwithstanding, and unless otherwise agreed, the commission shall annually pay either 1.25 or, y'all know all of that. So it's just a question of if you want to request $5 million at this time and open that can of worms.
But what I'm saying,
I apologize, Marvin.
what I need for you to tell it, what I need for you to say is that what we were saying was correct.
If you want to request that, I just said that if you want to say that paragraph L says that if you want to request it from them, you can request it.
What I did, let me finish now. What I did was look at the needs of our people. And we in a situation where there is no blueprint. Anything that I think that the city council declares is needed to protect the health and welfare of our people during this health pandemic is recoverable under FEMA. And based on that, the only thing that seems to have a problem is the $5 million. I just put a figure out there. Whatever the figure you want to put in there, put it in there. What I'm saying is we need this guidance document so that when an emergency comes, as it stands right now, we are using monies that were earmarked in our regular budget for emergency stuff. Somewhere down the line, that's going to be given back to us. But
okay, shall we put it? We can make a motion and somebody second, and let's put it to.
We can use for those purposes.
Would you put it in the form of a motion and somebody second it, and let's put it to it?
All right. What the lawyer said, understood.
Hey, man, one question, Mr. Krause, before you make a motion. Can we amend the figure to say something to the effect whatever the commission and the council deem necessary to?
I lost you. We lost you.
Oh, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Krause?
Yes.
I hear what you said. Two.
What I will do is take out a dollar value.
And can we just put in there whatever the commission and the council deem necessary to, run the town throughout this emergency or whatever, that language should be. The legal part of that. I think it, if we both agree, I think we both should agree on the amount, and it could be $10 million. We don't know what the state of emergency may be, but I don't think we should be limited to a certain dollar amount. We just need to get together.
I just use the number. This is give the council an example of what I was talking about, and I asked if you evaluate it. And if that's the case, Mr. Brown, I have no problem with that. We'll take $5 million figures out, and all it will say is that an emergency fund will be set up from the proceeds of whatever, and go ahead on. Is that acceptable?
Okay. You want to put it in the form of a motion and somebody second it?
I so move, Mayor.
I heard you. Move. Who second?
And I'll second it, man.
Okay. Motion by Crafter and seconded by Lamario that we move emergency funds.
We adopt the ordinance.
Excuse me?
We adopt the ordinance.
Adopt an ordinance. Somebody's talking. I can't talk at the same time as everybody else. Okay, to adopt a proposed code amendment to design or to bring emergency funds into the city's restricted account for emergencies.
No.
It did not say where you getting it.
Excuse me. This need to be rewritten because you got the one that he wrote, you've made changes to that. So we need to have a clear.
The only thing that was changed, changed was getting rid of the dollar amount.
Who made the changes?
Huh?
Mr. Councilman Brown made changes to the, yeah.
Oh, you can state it.
All right, I'm about to send you.
I'm not-
paragraph. I've got his. Have y'all seen this yet? He just sent this to me. Nobody else is copied on the email. Have y'all
And
seen
we-
I haven't
No.
seen
the
it.
language?
We have not seen it.
They've been having it for 3 weeks.
Well, in the
Raphael,
in the
okay,
words
hush for a
of
second,
Mr. Crafton,
Marvin.
we should have seen
Raphael,
that
what's the
2 weeks
best
ago.
way for me to, I mean, if I forward you to this, can you get it up on the screen like this?
Uh,
I won't go for it.
If you
Can
say-
we get a clear copy, a clean copy of it? And then we decide whether we're gonna vote on it or not.
Right.
Ms. Hayden, you have to forward it to Soccer, the secretary. She's the one controlling the meeting.
Well, you
Okay.
need a
So let's
motion.
table this. Let's table this for later in the meeting and let me get this to Saka with some proposed amended language and we'll put it up on the computer screen for y'all to look at, okay?
Yeah,
Everybody?
I
Is that
can't
okay?
see it.
I think it's too important to do it online too quickly. I think we need to change it to the next meeting.
I agree with Carla.
all right.
I
Motion,
agree with Paula as well. This hadn't even gone through finance. We're
make a
wanting
motion to table.
to deal with stuff, and I'm gonna tell you
I
something.
make a motion to table it
There you
I
go. I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Bryant to table the code amendment
until we get
until
clean copies,
until we get clean copies that everybody can
clear
take a look
copies.
at
And that our lawyer has approved.
and the next meeting.
Right.
At the time.
Hey, I have no problem with that. I have
All
no
right,
problem
any
with that. Ms. Hayden,
questions? Any questions?
TikTok,
All right, all in favor, call your name and say aye.
Juanita Bryant, aye.
Barbara Williams, aye.
Alonzo
Judy
Allen,
Barnes,
aye.
aye.
Alonzo Allen, aye.
Carla Gowen, aye.
We got 2 more. Okay.
I have no
Yes.
problem. All right.
He said yes. All right. 1 more. Okay. All that's opposed will say nay.
Everybody was unanimous, Mayor.
Well, I didn't hear 1 more person.
Yeah, Mr.
Well,
Crafton said,
Is that everybody?
that's his right. That's his right. Don't even worry about that. You got
Mr.
the vote.
Barnes, did you
Hold on.
abstain or not?
That's his right.
Mr. Barnes, did you abstain?
Be quiet. That's his right.
he said yes, Mayor.
I couldn't hear it. I didn't call for you, Marvin. Mr. Barnes, what did you do?
TikTok,
Huh?
Mr. Barnes, yes, I said I vote to table it. I seconded the motion and I voted to table it.
Oh, okay. I just couldn't hear you. All right. All right. And you got it, Soccer? All right. Thank you so much. And the motion carries. Now let's move on, please, ma'am, and please, sir. Number 4 on your agenda is the contract or the lease renewal for what used to be the Old Boys and Girls Club. It's now Youth Center of Excellence. That building belongs to the city, and the lease is now up. And of course, they sent some things to go in our request for the next budget year, but that's not for the purpose of this meeting. That will go to the city administrator and then go to the finance committee when they are building the budget. We hadn't gotten to that point yet. But the lease renewal, it's time for the lease to be renewed. What shall I hear in regards of it?
May I move we approve this lease agreement?
Okay, motion by Allen,
That was
I'll
Brown.
second that.
second by Barnes. Motion by Allen, seconded by Barnes. Any question?
That was
Yeah,
Brown.
question.
Yes, sir?
Where the money coming from?
You don't know, you ain't got no money. Yeah. It's we leased it to them for I think. And of course, when we get ready to talk about the funding, helping fund their program, that's when they request some aid to funding like all these other agencies do. All right, any other questions? All right, and I call for the vote. Please, name and what your vote is.
Crafton, aye.
Who said aye?
Crafton.
Huh? Crafton said
Marvin
aye.
said aye.
Okay, Crafton said aye. Alonzo said aye.
Alonzo Allen, aye.
Williams say aye.
Gowen says aye.
Farland says aye.
Allen says aye.
That twice.
I know, but I'll make sure you give me.
Bryant, aye.
All right, Bryant says aye.
And Barnes says aye.
already said aye. Okay, Barnes said aye. What about it, Brother Mario? Where are you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So it's
I made the motion.
oh, okay. Y'all think I'm going to sleep up here? Y'all trying to test me? All
Crazy.
right. That's
Pay attention.
Thank you so much. One thing about this COVID pandemic is if you don't last, you'll be crying. You got to last some. Okay, reports from departments. Now, it was left up to you all as to whether you wanted to have a virtual meeting, and nobody called in to say it that we needed to have one. Y'all said y'all would get with department heads and discuss whatever you needed to discuss. Do you have anything you want to bring back to us to this meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Bring them on.
Come
Can
on,
I go? Who you want to go first? Okay, I volunteer.
Juanita.
We talked about another knuckle boom. And we really need that knuckle boom, especially now, because the guys cannot pick up trash on the side of the road. They've been doing an excellent job so far, but they need some help, and we need a knuckle boom.
Okay.
And we had said
Mayor.
that we were gonna purchase one, but we never did put it in a vote.
All right. Any comments about that? I heard Alan. I heard Alan.
Approved to get that knuckle boomer. They just waiting on to bring it in. It's been approved for knuckle boomer. We just waiting on to back order it.
No, that's not right.
It's
We talked about it. We have talked about it and talked about it. Even talked about how we were gonna pay it, but we never put it to an official vote.
We'll make a motion.
All right, make the motion.
So moved.
Second,
Who seconded?
Gowan.
Okay. Motion by Bryant and second by Gowan that we move forward with the purchase of the knuckle boom truck. Any questions? All in favor?
I got a question, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Should we know something before us that we get the knuckle boomers $154,000 plus an extra 15,000, which came with 139,000, I think 134,000. We had approved that on the lease.
No.
Mayor, if I may,
Let Raphael explain.
if I may, this is
If it's a repeat, it'll take care of itself. Call for the vote.
All right. All in favor? Name and your vote, please. Okay.
Gowan, aye.
Yes, aye. Bryant, aye.
Cross eye.
Okay.
Gowan, aye.
Okay.
Barnes, aye.
All right. And then Mario? He back out at the farm? Mario?
He stayed at the farm. He might not. He might be under our hand.
Okay. Okay. So we don't hear. Did we lose Mario? Did it show that he left the meeting?
No, he might still be on the meeting, but he's dealing with the roosters.
We're telling him to bring us some meat. All right. Okay, but that's enough. Yeah, that's all right. So what is that? 5, 6, 4, and 1 not voting. You got it, Soccer?
Yes.
Okay, and the motion carries.
Okay. Now,
right.
Chewy, we had said that we were gonna get some of them, to get the money from SPLOST. Am I right?
For the knuckle boom?
Yes, Juanita, you're right.
Yes.
Well, hey, y'all get together and talk about that.
Okay.
We had already talked about it. We just never voted on getting it.
You
Chewy
just
is waiting to get the okay from mayor and council.
You got it.
Chewy,
We just voted.
you got the okay.
We just voted to do it. And so let him and the city administrator talk about the details.
How?
The accounts. Okay. All right. All right. Are we good?
Are you sweet?
Zook?
Ms. Juanita, may I add something to your report?
Yes, you may.
We also have talked, me, Chewy, and the chief have talked about trying to purchase the new trash trucks that pick up the cans themselves. This would be a good time to justify that and get GMA to pay for it without the city paying for it.
Y'all put that in the committee, come out the committee with it.
Yes, sir. Let's do that.
Joey,
Second time
you
is
left me out on that one.
Put it in the committee and come out the committee with it. Next, Ms. Mal.
Come on, sir. Marvin, you all
Ma'am.
right? Are you all right? What kind of
Hey,
medicine?
hey.
What kind of
We done did. Hey, you said you want to pay the lawyer all the money. I'm trying to help you through.
All right, come on.
no,
Who's
we-
the next reporter? Who's the next committee report? Let me call the name. Carla, did y'all meet?
I did not meet with the chief, so chief, I'll put you on the spot. Do we need anything?
No, we good. I can give y'all a kind of condensed version of what we got going on if you want to.
Okay.
I see Jarrell is back at work.
He is. The doctor won't let him come back till the 20th. He's sneaking in here through the back door when I don't see him. I'm doing little stuff like that, but he'll be fully back to work on the 20th, hopefully.
So he's feeling good.
He's doing that. It's amazing how good he's doing. He's gaining weight back. You can tell he's got a new step to him.
Very good.
Very good.
I'll start with the city marshal's report. Just give you we had 3 new businesses, 8 cemetery plots for $4,400. The city marshal has been working on the power shift, but he's been coming in and still doing everything he needs to do as far as the animal problems and code violations as well. On the fire side, of course, we've been sheltering in place on the fire side, only coming out for fire calls. And to that end, we've only answered one building fire, 1 cooking fire, 6 false alarms. We helped EMS 6 times. I'm worried about that because I really don't. I told them we weren't gonna be able to help them during this situation for obvious reasons, but they've had some times where they simply do not have EMS coverage in the southern part of the county. So we've had to come out for that. Had 1 lockout, 4 vehicle accidents, and 1 vehicle fire. So fire activity has been greatly curtailed. And I will put a copy of all the reports in everybody's boxes tomorrow, so if you want to see them. On the police side, I'm still dealing with them, trying to get the CAD system up. So I have an amended version. I'm just gonna give you the code, the serious crimes. No homicides, no rapes. We did have 3 robberies. We made an arrest on that. In connection with that, is more than likely the same person. We didn't have any aggravated assaults. We had 3 burglaries, 17 thefts, 0 vehicle thefts, and 1 arson. And of course, we're not writing any tickets. We're trying to minimize our contact with the public as much as possible. Other than that, we've got all our PPE in, and we're just trying to keep the guys as safe as possible so they can do their job.
Chief,
Yes,
Jeff Holly from Valley Insurance was supposed to have done something through the chamber of the first responders, all first responders, the county, the city, and everybody. And they were supposed to have dropped those tickets off to y'all yesterday. Did y'all get anything?
We dropped them off Tuesday, Ms. Barber.
We did.
And I've been distributing, the firefighters got theirs, and I've been giving all the police officers theirs as I see them and the admin people. Let me just say a note about that. Not only has Mr. Holly and Valley Insurance, everybody in town has went out their way to show us gratitude and love, and we really appreciate that. We put a little note up on Facebook about that. People just been feeding us and loving on us, and we appreciate that.
Very good, very good. And upon your advice, I did record late yesterday afternoon for Facebook, thanking the people about their what they've been doing with cooperating with shelter in place, and those kinds of things. So if you hadn't looked at it, go look at that. What has happened? They wanted to do something for the first responders, and I think that's absolutely good. I said they did that for the medical workers at Navicent Health, and they did it at Houston County and at Regional Navicent. They drove around, flashed their lights, and had like a parade, it wasn't a virtual parade, it was an in-person parade. And so I think it's good. It's good to keep that morale up amongst people. Okay. Did you have anything else?
That's all I had to do.
Okay. Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Allen, did you have anything?
I didn't meet, but Raphael has some information he wants to give you. Raphael.
Yeah, we had talked to GMA about that lease purchase, and if we go through GMA, GMA was waiting on our audit to come back, so we have to just go through other purchase, another stream of purchase instead of going through GMA on the
Okay.
knuckle boom.
That's with the knuckle boom.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
All right.
That's what we had agreed to in the beginning.
Okay.
We,
Anything else from that department?
No, man, we're good, Raphael.
Okay. Is Lamario gone? Okay, so we have nothing from Lamario. Marvin, you have anything on economic development?
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to commend all of the city employees for the commitment to the work that they've done during this pandemic. You've done an excellent job, and you kept us in the ball game. I want to extend a special commendation to the police chief and the police department for using his loudspeakers to go through every neighborhood announcing this pandemic and giving the basic rules. I think it went over real well. People enjoyed it, and I think the chief's going to do another one. But with that, there's one thing that we talked about that was not done, because in emergency situations, the county EMC, Jeff Doe, has the final word on what you do. But now, when it comes down to notifying the citizens of Fort Valley, we need to have, along with what the chief did, all the resources that we have to be able to get the word out to our folk about whatever's going on. So, Chief Raphael, Ms. Carla, if you would consider the city's purchase of a PA system that will be tied in with our emergency tornado warning system, so that in pandemics or emergencies like this, along with the police chief and our emergency vehicles making announcements, we can make those announcements over those PA systems. And I think they cover basically every neighborhood in town. So if you would, will you please look at the cost of getting that and see if you can and getting that done. The other thing is this: we have been at a standstill since this thing started. I think we need an accounting financially of where we are, how much money we done spent. We need a financial report for the whole council, so we can gauge where we are as it relates to our budget and everything else, because everything that has been done was done without a blueprint, without any knowledge of what's going to happen. And it has made a serious drain on our budgeted budget for 1920. So we need to get that as soon as possible. And with that, I'm through. Ms. Hooks, if you're still there, will you please send me a copy? Send me a copy of your corrections on that ordinance. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you. That's a great idea. I would ask Ms. June to prepare that, give it to Raphael, give it to Jimmy, and then pass on to us so that we could still keep that process going, even though we're not meeting face to face. In addition to what you were talking about that PA, I see you calling. The PA system, we need a digital sign. We talked about that some time back. We just backed away from it. We're depending on other folks' stuff in order to do stuff.
Right.
We need to do, and we do need a digital sign. All right, Ms. Carla.
I think the police and fire department going through the neighborhoods, that got their attention maybe better than just a loudspeaker. You know, if you're at a football game, you don't always understand what the loudspeaker's saying. When you've got a fire truck or a police car coming through your neighborhood and you hear the noise, you're going to stop and listen. So I think the way they did it this time was the excellent way to do it, and it's no additional cost.
I like that.
I understand it, Ms. Carla, but if you're not at a football game and all of a sudden you hear somebody talking on a loudspeaker on the corner, you're going to listen the same way.
Yeah. I'm saying the loudspeakers aren't as good as, you know, but
hey,
I like what Chief did.
That is in your committee. Y'all handle that whatever way you want to handle.
Yep.
All of you have some great ideas and some great recommendations. That idea came from Mr. Crafter. I don't know whether he said specifically to drive the fire trucks and the police cars. But, you know, kids are fascinated, and a lot of us are just little kids. We're fascinated when we see that happen. It got my attention when I saw people just driving down through downtown Macon, flashing their lights, and that kind of stuff. I thought that was a great idea to get the attention of everybody. So thank you. Yes, sir. And I saw your hand.
I was just gonna say I'll make sure to put that on the next agenda. And there was a huge debate about the tornado warning system. I didn't really get involved in it when Chief Joe, I know he put it on the county agenda. I think it was last year they voted on that, maybe 2-3 years ago. That system is somewhat new, but it doesn't have voice. And I agree with Mr. Crafter that we do probably need something with voice on it. I think Houston County has voice, and you know, I didn't want the siren to go off because that kind of reminds people of the movie The Purge. You don't want to scare people, but I think if we had voice, we could have had it in Spanish and we could have had it in English. So I'll put it on the next on my next public safety agenda. We'll discuss it.
One quick report before I forget it. I forgot. The house on the corner. The county, I think I shared with you yesterday, the county did discuss that. They are getting an appraisal on it now so that we can move forward. They are right on top of wanting to do that in order to get this railroad situation straightened out. The property that we were trying to buy out there for the cemetery, I got to talk to Tommy about it again because it seems as if the previous owner now wants to reclaim that property. And I think you have to do that within a certain year, and it's been 10 years. And so we got to find out what we need about that, and go on from there. So anyway, just that report. Jimmy.
Is Ms. Hook still there, Mel? Is Ms. Hook still there?
Yes, I am.
Yes, Hayden.
Ms. Hooks.
Say Hook, Hayden. You still there? Hayden?
I heard you said to hit with this mess.
She muted. Somebody muted.
All I was saying, Mel, what I wanted to say was simple.
She said she muted. She couldn't talk.
City has.
See how easily that happens? Okay, come on. Let us say.
I judge you.
The city has historical ordinances and stuff like that. The county does not have that. And this property is in the city and is subject to our historical restriction. And I think that
the stuff that we reached out to the problem is I don't think there's anything in local law that would prevent it. But apparently it's on the National Registry of Historic Places. And so we just got to get approval from the DOT before we knock it down or take it over. Otherwise, and let me finish before you can interrupt me. Otherwise, we're going to use, I thought that we could use local funds to buy it and that would get us out of having to comply with their requirements. But what they told me last week was that we need to go through their process, because if we don't, even if we buy it and take it down, if we haven't complied with their process, then they may not give us the state and federal money we need to do the actual road work.
Can it be
So
relocated?
we're going to get that. I'm sorry?
Can it be relocated?
Relocated.
I
You
can't
said, can it
understand
be
you.
relocated? Yeah.
It may be able to, but before we do, relocate it or something. We've just got to get their permission before we touch it.
I have no problem with it. My only concern is that if it's something that the city can do, whatever our responsibility is, we need to take care of that and get it on out the way. So whatever that comes down, the city can start digging dirt. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I understand. I just don't want the city to spend the money if somehow we were told, if for some reason the DOT wouldn't be able to spend the money, it would be a waste of the city's money. If the DOT.
I have no problem with that. The only thing I'm saying is whatever regulation we have to comply with, let's get that and let's do what we're supposed to do. If we condemn it, move it, we can do that a whole lot quicker than the county moving on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, got
And I think we need to look into this too. we may be able to use the DOT has different condemnation powers than the city does, and theirs is faster than the city's. And so because it's a DOT project, we may be able to use their legal. That's complicated, but we may be able to do it even faster than just the city. And I think we are going to end up having to condemn it because our dear friends, what are their names, Mayor?
You talking
that
about
lady, the DDA lady?
Wade.
I can't remember her name. The Kathy lady.
Kathy Lambert.
Yeah, they sold it for way more than it's worth. So we're not going to be able to get that guy down. We're going to have to end up condemning it.
Yeah. Okay, Spurgeon.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, to Hayden's point, just remind everybody, that's not only a state route, that's a federal highway. So that we got two different governing bodies that we're gonna have to deal with.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
They told me last week that they could get it, or something on their website says it usually takes a month. And I'm sorry, we didn't have power until late Tuesday. This week has just kind of been a wash for me, but I will get it done tomorrow. Get the process started.
Right. All right. Is there
one thing, man?
Jimmy?
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it. I've just been sitting here and listening while. Anyway, when it comes to finance, I've not been able to talk to Raphael much during this little time, but I'll be picking a meeting with him and our finance director and sit down, and we will find out where we are and what exactly, give us a footprint about where we are and and how we're doing right now. So I'll be on top of that, talk with them and make suggestions and recommendations.
Thank you.
But I just want to say that, we don't have a big pot of money out there just to decide to go give to the, take from the rich taxpayers and give to the poor. We need to really think about, we've got to keep our belts tight and all the federal money and assistance we can get. I know that's what Raphael is looking at the business. So we're going to get as much back as we possibly can.
Okay. Is there anything else that needs to go?
One last thing. Mr. Jimmy Vaughn, you told me one time all the rich folk and left folk early. That's just a joke. But basically, this is the last thing I have to say, man.
Folk that had money may have left folk early. I'm rich.
The last thing I want to say is this. I have disagreed with just about everybody on this council. But everything that I do is an effort to make life better for the people of Fort Valley. And whatever my personal agenda is with anybody, never interfere with the responsibility that I have to do my job as a city councilman. And I ask all councilmen basically to do the same thing. Hey, you're gonna have some problems with me, but then when we come together on stuff that's good for this town, let's do the right thing and move forward, and then we get back to arguing about whatever we want to argue about tomorrow. With that, Mr. Mayor, I'm through. Thank y'all for listening, and I think this was a good meeting.
That being said, I'll entertain a motion.
Can I just
make the motion that we close this mayor side.
A second.
All right, motion by Alan and seconded by Carla. All in favor, let's say aye.
Aye.
And anybody opposed, just we
Sit here by yourself.
See you later.
All right, I enjoyed y'all.
Mayor Williams,
Yes, sir.
since you didn't put it on the screen, just tell Ms. Hook, email that thing to everybody.
I emailed it to Saka, she already, so she can forward it to everybody. But
Okay.
I'll get the I emailed your version. I haven't made the
Like
changes
the
yet, so
pages
I'll
one.
get on that tomorrow.
We'll do it, sir. We will do it.
All right, I'm going to get my babysitters off the clock like y'all want to get me off the clock. Bye.
All right.
Yeah,
By the way, we do know that Raphael is away for a funeral. He has a person that has died, and our numbers have gone up to 28 in Peach County. Still 2 deaths, but 28 as of today. All right. So y'all have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Great job on the meetings, right?
Did a good job, Saka.
Thank you both so much.
All right. Make sure you go ahead and save the
Y'all
recording.
here.
Because that's what I was trying to see. Do I end the meeting, then stop the recording, or stop the
Yeah.
recording?
No, leave the meeting, then it'll actually save the recording at that point.
Okay,
I have to remember
will do.
that you don't have to talk loud on Zoom. Even though you're sitting right there, you could talk at your normal voice.
Yes.
Fine.
Let know everybody hearing what you're saying.
Because I'm hard of hearing, be sounding like I'm yelling at y'all, right?
Let me know everybody still hear what she's saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Just everybody say his.
I know. I figured that. I heard y'all talking. I'm just saying they had told me that you talk with your normal voice when you're dealing with that. But I forget. Every time I sit down to it, I find myself leaning into a computer. That's the old school way. And then talking loud because I'm hard of hearing. All right. Enjoy it, y'all.
Yes.